All right, so I want to set the stage here. I'm doing another demo call here for you, and I'm going to break it all down so you can understand how the agent handles this incoming emergency call. So I'm going to set the precedence first here. It's nighttime. It's snowing. It's a snowy Colorado night. It's below freezing outside. And me, Shane, the homeowner, his furnace has been dead for 3 hours and it's non-responsive, right? And the house is getting cold fast. I got kids in the home. I'm not calling to ask a question or get something scheduled for tomorrow. Like, I don't really know what to do. I'm calling because I need someone out here right now, someone here tonight to take a look at this, okay? So this is a completely different kind of call than the one that I last broke down. This is a routine. That was a routine after hours scheduling call. Now, this one is an actual emergency, right? The caller is stressed, the stakes are higher, and the way that the agent handles this call has to be fundamentally different than the way that the other type of call is handled, or any other type of call is handled for that matter, okay? So I'm going to play you this call, and I'm going to pause at every key moment to show you what the agent is doing, why it matters, and how this emergency call flow is different from a standard booking call. Now, if you're an HVAC company owner or a home service company owner watching this, pay attention to how the diagnostic fee is presented and the fee objection gets handled, because that's the moment where I have heard so many calls get dropped, customers hang up and call another company, and the customer is lost forever, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, without further ado, jump in. I'm going to start to play this call. And again, I'll pause it at key moments to explain what's happening here.
Thank you for calling High Altitude Heating and Air. This is Margaret. I'm here to help you with any heating or cooling issues. What's going on with your system?
Margaret,
Okay, so same thing as last time. The call is answered immediately. No voicemail, no phone tree, no press 1 for service or to get anywhere, no wait time. But this time it actually matters even more because this isn't a customer who can wait. Okay, this is a customer who's going to call the next company as soon as there's any kind of hold that they don't feel like they're actually being serviced right now, or if there's a voicemail beep, they're gone and they're calling the next competitor forever. Okay, the agent introduces herself by name. This is Margaret. Now, this small detail matters a lot when somebody is stressed and calling about an emergency. Hearing a name makes them feel like they're talking to a real person who's going to help them, not a system, not a recording. So notice the opening question. What's going on with your system? It's an open-ended question. It lets the caller tell their story instead of forcing them into a menu of options. They're not greeted with a phone tree of numbers to push to get where. That's intentional, right? On an emergency call, you just want the customer talking first so that you can assess the urgency from their own words. And our system can do exactly that and pretty accurately, all right? So let me go ahead and play a little bit more and I will continue to break this down for you.
My furnace is not turning on. It's been off for 3 hours. I have no idea what's going on with it. Like, I've been turning the thermostat up and up and up like multiple times now, and it's not kicked on. It just seems like completely dead. And it's really cold outside, and I really don't know what to do. I got to get somebody out here as soon as possible to look at it.
I'm so sorry you're dealing with that, especially with how cold it is. I can help you right away. How cold is it outside right now?
I don't know. It's got to be freezing. It snowed today, and the temperature in the house is just dropping really rapidly.
That sounds really frustrating, and I want to make sure we get you taken care of quickly. Is anyone in your home elderly?
Okay. Now, before I go any further with this, I want to go back a little bit here. Before I go any further with this, let's break this down, okay? So listen to just what just happened. The caller said that the furnace has been off for 3 hours. It's freezing outside. It snowed today, and the house temperature is dropping fast, okay? Now, that's a lot of information packed into a few seconds, and the agent has to process all of it and decide what kind of call this is. Same thing with a human agent, right? This is where the emergency call flow diverges from the standard call. On a normal call, the agent would move into qualification questions, like what kind of a system, how old is it, when did you notice the issue? On an emergency call, those questions still happen, but the agent's first priority is assessing how urgent that actually is. So the agent asks, how cold is it out right now? Now, that's not small talk. That's a triage question, okay? The answer determines how the rest of the call gets handled. If it's 50 degrees outside, this is urgent, but not dangerous, not an emergency, right? But if it's below freezing with snow on the ground, which it is, this is a safety issue, not just a comfort issue. And so most voice agents don't do this. They treat every call the same way, same script, same flow, same pace. But an emergency call and a routine call are two completely different animals. And if you handle an emergency call the same way as you handle my AC is making a weird noise, that type of call, you're going to lose the customer's trust in the first 30 seconds. Now, another thing that you can notice that she did here is when he said all of those things and spit that out, the first thing she did was slow down and she said, I am so sorry you're dealing with this and how stressful that must be to deal with this in these kinds of conditions. So very empathetic, still maintaining a calm and grounded presence and tone, no matter what the voice of the caller sounds like, even if it's activated and kind of up in energy. So let's move forward into the next part of the call.
Snow today, and the temperature in the house is just dropping really rapidly.
That sounds really frustrating. Is anyone in your home elderly, very young, or does anyone have health concerns I should know about? I ask just to make sure we prioritize appropriately.
Yeah, I've got kids in the house.
Okay. So this is one of the most important things that the agent does. And it's not just small talk that we're talking about here, right? And it's something that I've never seen another voice agent do, especially not the generic ones that are spun up in 5 minutes through Go High Level. This agent asked, is anyone in your home elderly, very young, or does anyone have health concerns I should know about? Now, why does that question matter? Well, 2 reasons. First, it's a real safety question. If there is an infant, if there's an elderly person, or if there's someone with a medical condition in the house with no heat in freezing temperatures, like this isn't a we'll get to you when we can situation. This is a genuine health risk, right? The company needs to know that so that they can prioritize dispatch accordingly. Now, second, this is the part that most people miss, is that question tells the caller that this company actually cares about their family. Not in a marketing way, in a real way. The caller just went from, I'm talking to an AI trying to get someone out here, to the company is asking about my kids. And this shifts the entire emotional tone of the call, okay? And notice that the agent says after the caller mentions the kids, we'll treat this as a high priority. This is not a throwaway line. The caller now knows his situation is being taken seriously. It's a confirmation to him, and he's not just another caller in the queue. His call has been escalated, and he knows it, right? Now, this is the kind of thing that separates a voice agent that books appointments from a voice agent that builds trust. And this actually comes from real industry knowledge, right? I've listened to hundreds of calls of HVAC companies, and I know what goes wrong. And I've worked out a really solid script in the right sequence that gathers all the information, knows exactly what to ask to help that agent know what kind of a call this is. And there's 3 different categories basically that this call will be determined as. And that is how you actually build trust with the customer. That 5-star review you get down the line after the service actually starts the very first time they give you a call, when they feel taken care of and when they don't have to do anything else but talk and get their service that they need to help fix their furnace or fix whatever's going on in their home. All right, so let's keep going.
Sure.
Thank you for letting me know. We'll treat this as a high priority.
Right, you see
Can I
that?
get your first name spelled letter by letter, please?
Yeah, it's Shayne.
Thank you. Let me spell that back to make sure I have it right. Shayne. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Great. Thank you. And your last name spelled letter by letter, please?
It's Champlin. It's Champlin.
Thank you. Let me spell that back. Champlin. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Shayne. I see you're calling from 719-304-6390.
That's my actual
Is this
number.
the best
Call me if you
number
wanna
to
talk
reach
to me.
you?
No, actually, it's 719-333-4622.
Okay, let me repeat that back. 719-333-4622. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. What's the address where you need service?
This is a key part.
It is. It's going to be 2455 Alabaster Lane.
Thank you. Is that spelled Alabaster? And what city, state, and zip code is that in?
Yeah, that's spelled correctly, and it's in Colorado Springs, Colorado 80918.
Thank you. So that's 2455 Alabaster Lane, Colorado Springs, Colorado 80918. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Thank you, Shayne. Is this a house, apartment, or commercial building?
It's a house.
Thank you. Do you know what type of heating system you have? Furnace, heat pump, or are you not sure?
Oh man, I have no idea. It's kind of old, so I guess just the furnace.
Thank you, Shane. When did you first notice the furnace stopped working?
Today. It's been fine up till now. I've never had a problem with it really.
Thank you. Can you describe what it's doing? Or is it just completely unresponsive? No noise or anything at all?
Yeah, it's just dead, unresponsive, no noise, nothing.
Thank you for explaining that. Just to confirm, you need a repair service for your furnace, correct?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Okay, Shane, here's what's going to happen.
Okay. So I want to point out something here that's easy to miss because it's not flashy, right? We just did a bunch of information collection and we verified all the information, right? But the agent just collected the caller's full name, callback number, full address with the proper spelling, with the zip code, property type, system type, when the issue started, and the description of the symptoms. And she confirmed every single piece of it by reading it back. All right, so the name was spelled letter by letter. Phone number was read back digit by digit in groups of 3. That sounds a lot more like a human than a robot reading back the numbers, just all 10 in a row. That's something that we spent a lot of time on, getting the agent to actually speak more human, right? Same thing with the name. Names are spelled usually like when we spell something, it's like S-H-A-Y-N-E. It's not just S-H-A-Y-N-E, right? There's like a little bit of a swing and some cadence that changes throughout that spelling. And so we've worked hard to get that to work that way as well, okay? But so she read back also the address. And again, I said she confirmed the street spelling. Now this happens sometimes with HVAC, especially in high pressure situations or late at night, especially by overseas call centers and answering services, is they actually don't have access to a database of addresses. So they're just taking down information and they might misinterpret something like helm instead of elm, right? Or elm instead of helm. And if they don't spell that back and get that street name right, then you could actually end up dispatching to the wrong address, which is a whole host of problems, wasted money and lost revenue there in and of itself. So we want to make sure, especially in emergency situations, right? Especially in a call like this, that we are making sure that we get everything the way that it needs to be captured at the first time, the right way, so that we don't have to confirm anything else afterwards or do any callbacks or anything like that, especially if we're transferring information to an on-call technician that's out in the field, right? People who are stressed are talking fast. They're not thinking clearly. And if there's ever a call where someone is going to give you the wrong house number or transpose 2 digits in their phone number or, say their name of their street really fast, it's going to be a call like this one, right? And the agent doesn't speed up because the caller is in a rush. It stays methodical and makes sure that it captures every single detail every single time the exact same way. So you never have a misalignment of that information. Now, here's the thing about the phone number, right? The caller actually gave a different callback number than the one that he was calling on. The agent caught that, right? It didn't assume that the calling number was the one that he was calling from. She actually caught that other number that he read, and then she confirmed it and read it back and saved that as the information. So if you're dispatching an on-call tech at night, like they're going to call the customer back, they need the right number. Seems obvious, but I've heard calls where this gets missed, especially in late hours or by an off-site call center or answering service, right? The instinct when someone is panicking is to rush, to skip steps, to say, yeah, I got it, and move on. Now, a human CSR on their 8th emergency call of the night, or their 100th if they're a call center, is absolutely going to cut corners here. The agent does not do that. It follows the same process every time, the same precision, the same tone, the same voice, the same attitude every single time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, okay? So let's go on and let's continue to listen to this.
With emergencies like this, we're going to send out a technician to diagnose what's going on with your system. That diagnostic visit is going to cost $280, which is our after-hours diagnostic fee. If you do get service and repair, we'll roll that $280 into the cost of the repair so you don't pay it twice. If you decide to go ahead, we'll notify our on-call technician right now and transfer the call so they can give you a more accurate estimate of when they'll arrive. If we can't reach them, they'll call you back as soon as they're available. Does that work for you?
Whoa, $280, like just to look at it? That's expensive.
I get that objection.
I completely understand, Shane. The $280 covers our technician coming back.
Just to look at it? That's expensive.
I I completely understand, Shane. The $280 covers our technician coming out after hours, and it does get applied toward your repair if you go ahead with the work, so you're not paying it twice. If you'd prefer, I can schedule you for first thing tomorrow morning when the diagnostic fee is $140. Given how cold it is and that you have kids in the house, would you like me to dispatch tonight or schedule for tomorrow morning?
Yeah, let's just do it tonight. I got to get someone out here right away.
Okay. This is the best part of the call, in my opinion, and the hardest to get right. Okay. Human CSRs do a terrible job at this. And I've heard so many hundreds of thousands of dollars flushed away on reading out the diagnostic fee the wrong way. Customers that call, you spent $200 to get that ad to call in, and then they call and then they get the dispatch fee after hours and they're just sticker shocked and they're like, whoa, that's a lot. I'm going to call somebody else and see if they're cheaper. And then they hang up and move on. So it has to be read the right way, and the objection almost always has to be handled, okay? And this is how we do that. So in this moment right here, this is where the call either converts or dies. And I've seen so many calls lose it right here, okay? And what just happened is one of the best objection handling sequences I've seen from any agent or human. Let me break down what the agent did. First, she explained the emergency dispatch process clearly. We're going to send out a technician to diagnose what's going on. The diagnostic visit is $280, which is our after-hours fee. Clear, no ambiguity. The customer knows the number before they commit to anything, right? Then, and this is critical, she immediately followed it with the reframe. If you do get service and repair, we roll that $280 into the cost of the repair so you don't pay it twice. Same move as the last video, like the fee isn't a cost, it's a credit toward the repair, but that needs to be communicated up front. That reframe is worth thousands of dollars in revenue over the course of the year. 6 figures for sure. But then the caller pushes back, right? $280 just to look at it? That's expensive. And this is where most agents, human and AI, fall apart. They either get defensive, repeat the same line, or cave and offer a discount. But watch what this agent does instead. She validates the concern first. I completely understand. Not dismissive, not argumentative, and then she restates the value. The fee covers the technician coming out after hours, and it gets applied to the repair. She's not apologizing for the price. She's standing behind it while showing empathy. And then she does something really smart here, okay? She gives the caller an alternative option. So if you prefer, I can schedule you for first thing tomorrow morning when the diagnostic fee is $140, right? Like, this is brilliant, okay? And this is how you get somebody to go with you, even though they have an after hours fee. You give them 2 options. You do not leave them with a yes or no question to answer, okay? She's not discounting the emergency fee at all. She's not discounting it. She's giving the caller a real choice, right? You could pay $280 and get someone tonight, or pay $140 and wait until tomorrow morning, right? So what she's doing here, and this is a sales tactic, you don't leave people with a yes or no question. You leave them with an option, right? So when they give you an objection, you don't back down on the price and give a discount. You say, yeah, it is that much money, but we have this other option over here that's less money. Now you get less features, less convenience, less efficiency. It takes more time, but it does cost less. Now, given your certain situation, which option is best for you? You want to pay more for the better option, or do you want to go with this other option that will still get it done, but you're going to lose out on some things, right? So that's what she does, right? So the next part here is golden. Given how cold it is and that you have kids in the house, would you like me to dispatch tonight or schedule for tomorrow morning? This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? You give both options. You can't have it tonight if you don't pay more money, but you can have it tomorrow also. Which one is better for you given that it's cold outside and you have kids in the home? So she's using the caller's own situation that she gathered earlier in the call. And this is really key to frame that decision for him. She's not pressuring him. She's reminding him of what he already told her. And the caller immediately says, yeah, let's do it tonight. Now, this is not a sales trick. That's just good service, right? The caller made an informed decision with all the facts in front of him. He wasn't surprised. He wasn't pressured. He was given options, then context, and then he chose. And that's how you handle a price objection without losing the job or the customer's trust. This is how you build authority with your market and goodwill with your customers. All right, let's continue.
Okay, Shane, I have everything I need. Our on-call technician has been notified and will be heading your way as soon as they can. I'm going to transfer you directly to them now so they can give you a more specific arrival time. Do you have any other questions before I transfer you?
No, I think that's it.
Please hold while we...
All right. So this is where the emergency flow really separates itself from the standard booking call. Okay. On a normal call, the agent books the appointment on the calendar and the call is done. On an emergency call, depending upon how you want to have this set up, the agent is actually dispatching to an on-call technician. Now that can happen different ways. It could be, we'll have them call you back in 15 to 20 minutes, and then your text notifying them or calling them to let them know to call this customer. But you're dispatching to that on-call technician. And sometimes that's actually a direct transfer of the call to the technician in real time, so that the caller gets directly to that technician, especially in an emergency, right? So think about what just happened from the customer's perspective. He called at night with a dead furnace and kids in the house. Within 5 minutes, the agent assesses the urgency, verifies that vulnerability of the kids in the house, collected all of his information, completely verified, and so it's all correct, communicated the fee, handled the objection, confirmed the dispatch, and is now going to connect him directly to the technician who's going to come to his house. 5 minutes, no callback, no waiting until the morning, no message taking, no someone will be in touch. This is the part that's really hard to build. The greeting, the questions, the fee framing, that's all conversation design. Important, but it's text and logic. This, the live dispatch, the real-time transfer to the on-call tech, this is systems integration. The agent has to connect the dispatch workflow, trigger the right notifications in whatever CRM is going to be sent, those text messages, or the calls are going to be made, and execute that live call transfer. That's engineering in the system. And it's the part that separates this demo from a production-ready system, okay?
We attempt to transfer you to our on-call technician.
All right, so now the call is going to be transferred. You're going to hear a delay here. And she's actually going to call my phone, right?
Yep,
if you were watching me do this video.
All right, so it's transferring to the technician. So as you can see,
that's me commentating.
I'm going to cancel that.
I was making a video of this.
I'm going to cancel it again. So if she doesn't get a hold of the technician, is going to, after a certain number of rings, she's going to
okay, she should be back on
and tell me
we
couldn't get a hold of them, but they're going to be giving you a call back. She's definitely going to wait out the ringing though. Right now, she's probably getting my voicemail, which she'll know.
So that's what you're hearing, right? She's actually calling. She is getting my voicemail. She's sensing that it's voicemail, and then she's going to come back on in a second. That's why you're hearing this delay, and I'm actually talking over it because I was making a video of me demonstrating this whole thing. But she's going to come back on and be like, we couldn't, and you'll hear what she says in just a second.
Thank you for your patience, Shane. It looks like I wasn't able to reach the technician directly just now. They may be on another call or out in the field. They will call you back within 15 to 20 minutes at the number you gave me. If you don't hear from them soon, please call us back at this number. While you're waiting, stay in one room with the door closed to conserve warmth, bundle up, and please don't use your oven for heat. Help is on the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite parts of the entire call. All the small details matter so much, right? And it's the part that most people wouldn't think to build. The transfer failed, right? When she tried to call because I kept disconnecting because it was calling my phone. It's a demo, right? But the call was actually being transferred. But the transfer failed. The on-call technician didn't answer. Maybe they're on another call. Maybe they're driving. This happens all the time, right? They rarely answer when that call is transferred. But the point is, what happens now, right? Most voice agents, the call just ends awkwardly, or it loops, or it says something useless, like please try again later, because nobody thought about what happens when the transfer doesn't go through, but we can't end it there, right? They built the happy path and then stopped and didn't build the other contingencies or edge cases. So watch what this agent does. She comes back on the line. She tells the caller exactly what happened. I wasn't able to reach the technician directly. No sugarcoating, no confusion. Then she gives a specific callback window. They will call you back within 15 to 20 minutes. The caller now has a concrete expectation. Not soon, not as quickly as possible, 15 to 20 minutes. And then this is the part that really gets me, right? The agent gives safety tips. Stay in one room with the door closed to conserve warmth, bundle up, and please don't use your oven for heat. Now that's not a booking instruction, right? It seems like icing on the cake, and it's not a business process. But that's the agent actually taking care of the customer in the gap between the call and the tech arriving. Now, why does this matter? Well, because the customer is sitting in a cold house with kids waiting for a callback. If the last thing the agent said is they'll call you back, goodbye, then the customer hangs up feeling abandoned. But when the last thing that they hear is practical advice to keep their family safe, that's a completely different experience. Now, that's the kind of thing that makes someone say, like, these guys actually care. And that makes them feel like that, right? And that's where the reviews, referrals, and lifetime customer value come from, is that first call being handled the right way. This is also something that human CSRs, frankly, never do. right? Not because they don't care, but because at 10 p.m. when it's the offsite call center, they don't have empathy. They're answering hundreds of calls and they're reading from a script. They don't have any tie to the brand and don't care about the customers. They're just doing a job. So they just hang up because they're busy and overwhelmed and they got 3 other things and other lines ringing and they don't have time to give safety advice, but the agent does, and it does it every single time without fail. Always handles the calls this way, okay? So the close here, same as the last video, the agent closes warm and professional. If you need anything else and you don't hear back, just give us a call. The caller isn't left wondering what to do next. He knows the tech will call in 15 to 20 minutes. He knows that he can call back if he doesn't hear from them, and he's been given safety advice from the wait. Notice the tone never wavered. From the first second to the last, the agent was calm, empathetic, and in control. The caller started this call stressed and panicking. By the end, he's calm. He said, "Thank you, Margaret," at the end. That's not a customer who feels like he just talked to a robot, right? That's a customer who feels taken care of. And that's what we're shooting for when we build these agents, to feel like somebody who's actually part of your company and cares about your customers, right? So let's recap what just happened. An emergency call came in at night. The agent answered immediately, assessed the urgency, checked for vulnerable people in the home, collected every piece of information with full verification, communicated a $280 after-hours diagnostic fee, and then handled the price objection without caving or pressuring, dispatched an on-call technician, attempted a live transfer, handled the fallback gracefully when the tech didn't answer, gave the call or a specific callback window, and provided safety tips to keep the family safe and feel secure while they wait. That's not a booking. That's an emergency response. And it happened in under 7 minutes with no human involvement. Now, here's what I want you to think about. How does your company handle calls like this? How do they handle calls right now at 9 p.m. on a snowy Tuesday night? Is there someone answering? Is it voicemail? Is it a call center that's been given a generic script to follow? Are they an answering service? Are they asking about kids in the house or elderly people or at-risk people? Are they handling the fee objection the right way? Are they handling the fee objection at all? Are they giving any safety tips? Are they caring about the customer? Does it feel to the customer like they're cared about? And is it a one-call resolution? If that's happening, then you're missing the boat and you're missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue per year in those after hours calls, because 40% of your calls are coming in after hours. That's the statistics for HVAC companies, that out of your total calls, 40% come in after hours. And that homeowner is calling the next company on Google if that's what their experience is when they call you after hours, okay? So let that sit for a bit. If you want to see what this would look like for your company, I'd love to show you. I got links in the comments. You can schedule a demo or a 15-minute conversation where I can help you understand just how much money you could possibly be losing from those missed calls and from your booking rate, which is abysmal after hours for almost all HVAC companies, and help you see how we can possibly fix that for you and move it forward in the right direction to capture back 5 or 6 figures in revenue a year for you, quite possibly, even for smaller HVAC companies. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. Please subscribe if you want more content like this, and make it a great day.